I'm like, no! Banging the gears, baby. I can't behave, man. Okay, guys, welcome back to the show. Troy Casey, Certified Health Nut. In an effort to bring you more fun, phenomenon, and freedom, I brought you my new C4 Corvette. And so I've been wanting to get a hot rod for a while. I haven't had one in about 40 years. My last one was a 75 Trans Am that did about 14-second flat quarter miles. And this, out of the factory, does basically almost that. This is a C4 Corvette, 1989 convertible 6-speed. And I wanted to get back to having an old car, a cool car, something great and fun. I didn't know I was going to go for a hot rod because I typically like the Cadillacs. My dad had a Cadillac when I was younger, and that insignia branded me. So all the time I'm talking about what's happening with the media and Disney and all that stuff, just know that your children and you are getting programmed by the symbols that are around you. And so I've had Cadillac on the mind since I was yay high. I've owned 9 Cadillacs, and I haven't had one in about 30 plus years. Now this car is 35 years old this year. I found it here in Scottsdale, which is what I envisioned. An old guy in a garage that had this in a garage that no longer wanted it. Well, he couldn't shift it anymore. This is a 6-speed manual. Only 20% of these vehicles were manuals. He was about 76 and he was done driving it. And so I was able to pick this specimen up. Now, this is before we've done all the work on it. I have about $5,000 worth of mechanical work being done to it very soon. And then I'm going to get the interior and exterior detailed. Big shout out to Avant-Garde. This is the garage that I'm in here. I've been hanging out with these guys. I walk my dog past this office almost every day. I become friends with these guys. They auction most of these vehicles off on bringatrailer.com. So I'm very grateful. I'm a car guy. I like to talk cars all the time. And their photographer, Josh, picked up a 98 Bentley. Some guy came in here wanting to sell it. I think the car was worth about 20 grand, and he picked it up for $12,000. Some guy needed to make room in his collection. And I was talking to the guys, and I told Devin, their head mechanic, it's like, you know, that's the deal I want. Not necessarily an English vehicle that I'll need a tow truck behind me to drive it, but that type of car, a cool car in perfect condition. And I don't want to break the bank. I want it to be analog. I want it to be paid for. I don't like all these computerized things that the government and Elon Musk type of people can just turn off. And I wanted something American muscle to suit my personality. And so Devin was telling me that, hey man, the C4 Corvette is underrated. They made tens of thousands of them, and they are a daily driver, etc. So this is going to be my new daily driver. And so, of course, this clamshell hood, very iconic, but you can crawl right into it if you're a mechanic, and you can just work on everything. Everything is right here. And so my mechanic looked at these. The Bilsteins are 35 years old. That's the suspension it came with. It was leaking. And he's like, there's no oil leaks, but there was, the gas shocks are leaking. And so we're replacing those, the A-arms, the bushings. We're doing 4 discs all the way around. We've already replaced, I did a little bit of research on the C4s and the basic modifications, upgrades that you can do without getting into cam and all this hot rod stuff. I'm looking to have a daily driver, something very fun. And I got to tell you, the second I got into this thing, I started smoking tire and blowing donuts. And this is a very fun vehicle. It only had 26,000 miles on it when I purchased it. I picked it up for $16,000. The interior is perfect condition, And again, this is pre-detail. I have not detailed it. We're going to shampoo all the carpets. We're going to do paint correction. The paint is basically 35-year-old garaged perfection. And so brakes, suspension. My assistant Curtis had a 77 Corvette, and he already did a lot of this type of stuff, of working on the basics of it. As much as I'd love to have this thing supercharged and have it, have triple horsepower, it's got like 245, I think, but it's got 330 foot-pounds of torque, which is amazing. You feel it. The tires are 20 years old, so they break them loose no matter where. So no matter what I do. I'm feeling that new tires, mount them and balance them. I'll get the alignment somewhere else, but they're going to help get the tires on for me. I really respect the guys at Avant-Garde because they're such car guys, and they really took me under their wing, And I didn't buy a car from them. They just kind of gave me advice. And so they're going to help me out with the tires. I got new tires coming. So I'm hoping everything firms up, because I'm grabbing first, second, and third gear every single time, blowing donuts at will. And so I'm just having so much fun in this vehicle. One of the lights is out over here, and I heard one of the modification upgrades is to put LED lights in them. So I will be doing that. The fluids have always been changed, and they've been changed recently, but we're going to change them again and go through differential and transmission, or whatever needs to be done. I'm not a mechanic, but I do love cars. And this car, ever since Devin said, hey, the C4 is underrated, underappreciated, undervalued, check that out. And I am so in love. Within a week, I looked at a handful. I recommend, if you're going to buy a C4, you want to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Luckily, not much needs to be done on this, and the paint's perfect, and everything runs. This has been my daily driver for the last 2 weeks since I've had it. So do your research on that. I think it's the best sports car you can buy for $10,000 average, right? Give or take. The convertibles are a little bit more. Obviously, low mileage in perfection is going to be a little bit more. And then if they're mechanically tweaked, you can pick them up for dirt cheap. I was watching one of my friends that was on Netflix, Sean Pilot. He has a new show, vetrod.com. He bought all sorts of C4s and even a C3 and a couple mechanical switch arounds, and he was roasting tire in no time. And towards the late 70s, the Corvettes became a dog. They went from the late 60s to just being the shark machine, right? Just dominator of American muscle. My friend had side pipes and flames on his, true hot rod, and it was amazing. And so they ended up just being dogs coming out of the 70s. And so GM put a lot of money into the C4. This car was built on the track, and the suspension, it has a leaf spring that goes across. Yeah, mono leaf. Instead of going forward in the car, it goes across, so it has a mono leaf. It can handle a G-force. This technology is still amazing. And this car competed with the Porsche 911 and the Ferrari. All I can say is I'm super excited. The thing looks great, it drives great, it's got torque, it's got power, it's got grip, and I can't wait to get the suspension, brakes, and tires on it, so it's much more of a balanced machine. And everything appears to work. If you don't know, I've learned a couple of interesting tidbits about this vehicle. You never close or slam the clamshell hood with the doors open on the convertible. It can actually tweak the doors. This particular model came with the leather seats, the 6-speed transmission, and the power seats. And so these things are amazing. The chairs, there are some wrinkles, but no rips. We're gonna get the all the old wax out of the crevices. We're gonna do paint correction. I've already got the license plate. We picked the black plates for Arizona. We got the Route 66, the historic ones. And so this C4 has the round lights. I do believe it was in the 90s. They switched to kind of an oval square kind of thing. These are the original rims. And as much as I'd like to do something special, I think I'm just gonna shine them up and pimp it just as it is. Leave a comment in the box if you think I should get, I wanted to flame this thing purple, but I don't know, it's so bone stock, I just want to kind of leave it as it is, but maybe a purple pinstripe, you know, something special. You know, one day I may put headers and side pipes on it and the purple flames. I don't know, but right now I'm just enjoying this C4 convertible Corvette. I'm like a kid in the candy store. I keep hearing, you know, somebody say, you know, behave yourself. Oh, behave. Who is that? Austin Powers. Oh, behave. I'm like, no! Banging the gears, baby. I can't behave, man. Roasting tire and spinning donuts. Big shout out to Avant-Garde, all the guys that are here. Matt, who owns it. Check them out on bringatrailer.com. A lot of these cars are for sale on there. This is my C4 Corvette. I encourage anyone out there that's looking to get back into the hot rod game to look at the C4 Corvette. I think it was one of the best kept secrets for me. I'm really enjoying it. And so we're going to do the mechanical work and the detail. And we'll be doing videos on that. Drop a comment in the box if you got a hot rod. You know, I know this is a health and consciousness channel. Consciousness is anything under the domain of life on earth. I always like to use the analogy of the car. You know, how do you take care of this type of vehicle? That's how you want to take care of the spiritual spacesuit, right? This is the real, you know, Ferrari race cars, the human body spacesuit, right? And so if you're going to take care of this and shine it up and run good fluids in it, then you should also run good fuel and fluids through the human being body, right? As above, so below. So if you're going to get a sports car and take care of that, make sure you take care of yourself first and foremost. And we'll see you on the next video. God bless.